It's the NFL on EA Sports, and there you get a look at Paul Brown Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. Tonight we've got an AFC matchup on tap between the Miami Dolphins and the Cincinnati Bengals. This will be fielded inside the 5. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. They'll run here with Raheem Mostert. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
Well, it's hard to have vision as a runner and find a hole when there's nothing but defenders in your way. They stacked that one up really well. But give him credit. Instead of trying to bounce it out and turn it into a big play, which might have turned into a big loss, kind of just took his medicine there and took the 1 yard.
On 2nd and 9, Tua. Got a man complete to Cedric Wilson. Finding room at midfield. Still on his feet. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Cedric Wilson, 75 yards. And the Dolphins go down the field in just 2 plays to take the early lead. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Fields it right around the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Burrow to Boyd there for the Cincy first. So we just called his name on the previous snap, and they go right back to him, Charles, for a 2nd consecutive completion.
Yeah, I think what we're discovering on this drive is that he feels like he has answers no matter what defense you throw up there. He reads it, finds the open spot, and is available for the completion.
Play action. It's Burrow. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Tua just going to bat this forward on the end around. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. And we got a pause following the play because it appears a member of the Bengals in some discomfort. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Now Tua. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead. So the fumble recovery had them set up in ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping for.
So after the made field goal, 10-0 here early as the kick's away. This taken in at the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Bengals drive about to get going. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. Burrow will throw. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down.
1st down there for T. Higgins. Don't let it be lost in Jamar Chase's phenomenal season. The Higgins had a big year for Cincinnati as well. Topped the 1,000-yard plateau for the first time, and he did it despite missing a few games with injuries. The 3rd-year man could give Cincy a pair of Pro Bowlers at the position here in 2022.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Hayden Hurst, former 1st-round pick, the intended target. And now it's 2nd down. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. And that's incomplete.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time they were up to the challenge.
So now the Cincinnati native, also former Bearcat and now a Bengal, Kevin Huber to punt it away. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. .35 yards that time on the punt, and it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Solid way to start the drive, 13 yards, picking up the 1st.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. On 1st down, they go with Mostert again, and he'll work this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
On the carry, this is Myles Gaskin, and he'll have a Dolphins 1st down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
Each of the last 2 seasons, Myles Gaskin has gone over 800 all-purpose yards and showed Miami they may have something long-term in him. The Dolphins were aggressive in free agency, though, bringing in multiple backs to compete with him for carries. One thing we do know about the former 7th rounder out of Washington, he's a fighter.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Tua now on first down. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. Tua sets up to pass it. And he's got his tight end. It's Mike Gesicki. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
2nd down and goal. Tua. That's out to the flat for Edmonds. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal.
The defense was ready for the back to leak out and even had a second player waiting to double him up. If you're going to commit to doubling a back, you better prevent a completion, but give him credit. Extra determination, extra effort turned it into a successful play.
Gaskin. He pushed forward, but I don't think it's enough. He's going to be about a yard short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. They'll try it now with Mostert. And I don't think he got in. He didn't. He's stoned at the 1-yard line. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Burrow to his old LSU teammate Chase for a Bengal first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Burrow. He gets this one to Boyd. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 38. Burrow's throw here into the hands of Boyd. So he stopped for no gain, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Here's 2nd and 10. Burrow looking to pass. That's caught over the middle by Hurst. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Got a man. It's Chase. He completes it. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 15-yard line. And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Now it's Burrow. Open man. It's complete to Higgins. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. T. Higgins. 42 yards. And the Bengals are back within a score. Extra point by McPherson up and good. That'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this 1st half. Ready for the 2nd quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here as they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. He completes it to Boyd. And they're going to get this up to midfield. Working with a 2nd and 3. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
So on 4th down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Got a man, it's Waddle, complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Here's a handoff to Mostert running left. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. And going deep for Hill. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Tyreek Hill, 50 yards, as his guys are able to extend their lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Mixon gets the nod to start the drive. And some room to work. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. An unfortunate time for the penalty there. That cancels out a positive play from this offense.
Well, not to sound too trite or too accepting, but you and I both know it happens. You got to accept it and move on. Yardage, you got to get back. Focus on the next play, move on.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Burrow. His throw incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Now it's Burrow. This goes out wide for Mixon. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. That'll go for a gain of 7. And it'll be 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
The left-footed Kevin Huber set to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Watch out for Hill on the return. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. The last time out, they had to march almost the full length of the field for their touchdown. So here, much easier, Charles, with this better starting field position.
I love your sarcasm, but I love even more your observation because, look, what they did last time out, now with a shorter field, they should have a lot of confidence that they're going to put more points up on the board.
On 2nd and 7, Tua. That one complete to Hill. He's got room at the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. They run out of the shotgun with Mostert. Down at the 25.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Tua. Open man is Waddle, complete. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 16. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes. My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Back to the running game with Mostert. And he'll take this one down near the 15. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. And that'll bring up 4th down as his Cincy defense stands up on 3rd. So 4th down, Tua departs, and on is Jason Sanders and the Dolphin field goal unit. The kick by Sanders is good, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no wind. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well,
yeah.
Right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The Bengals drive about to get going. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series. But what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And here's a throw taken in by Boyd. Only needing 2 yards on second down. Mixing up the middle. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Throwing now, Burrow on first down. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
First down. Here's Burrow. He's going to have the hook up here to Chase. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Burrow will throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Burrow spotting T. Higgins for the touchdown there. And the Bengals have cut it back within a score. In the second quarter, and already his second touchdown reception.
Absolutely the definition of a difference maker here in this first half. Clearly one of his quarterback's favorite targets in this game, and I figure he's going to draw a little more attention and coverage moving forward.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good, and the lead will shrink to 6. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Over the middle and complete to Waddle. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. The Dolphins taking over now late in this first half. And just inside of a minute left, Charles. They got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this, but you would think definitely enough time to at least try to get 3 out of this.
Yeah, you want to move with a nice sense of pace. You want to up the tempo a little bit, but you have to do it with some poise as well. You don't want to go so fast that you hurry yourself into mistakes. There's enough time to put points on the board if they do it right.
And even though they have the lead, you know that they would love to extend this lead before heading to the locker room. They tried the throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Edmonds. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Back deep, Trent Taylor. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Bengals take over 1st and 10. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Looking to throw. That's the tight end Hurst with it. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw.
A throw for Boyd, but it's intercepted.
Nick Needham picks it off. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. After the turnover, it's Tua.
He'll get this into the hands of Mostert.
And he will have a first down as they're into field goal range now at the 30. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On first down, Tagovailoa. Dancing to his left. He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. That's out to Hill, right side complete.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback.
Now Burrow on first down.
Got a man open. It's Chase.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, and he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the first down.
Meanwhile, Burrow's throw caught by Higgins. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
Couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
From midfield now, Burrow.
And he'll find Chase on the right side complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. 1 yard is the gain. And that'll be good enough for a Cincinnati first.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Burrow looking to pass. He gets this in the hands of Mixon.
And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him. Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal.
From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And he missed it. It's no good. And the deficit will stay at 2 field goals.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
McPherson, as a rookie last year, made a league-leading 9 kicks from 50-plus yards and added to it in the playoffs with some other big kicks to help propel his team to the Super Bowl. But that time, unable to convert.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Tagovailoa working out of the gun. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki.
And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
A run with Mostert up the middle. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. From the 45 on second down.
Tua.
It's brought in by Wilson.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
They fake the handoff. Now Tua. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
Well, if you're going to turn things around in a game like this, Charles, those are the kind of plays that you need.
And I just love the way that defense rallied to the football on that one. They got the completion, but he was smothered behind the line of scrimmage. And when you make tackles like that, your whole defense is going to be fired up. Really nice play getting to the ball.
Rolling to his right. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. He got 29 yards that time.
That's a good effort there after the catch. He looked the ball in and then tried to get it to the goal line. What a nice tackle to get him down. But they're set up well now. First and goal at the 1.
They'll run with Gaskin.
Into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. No gain on the play, and it's going to be second and goal.
I don't know about you, Brandon, but I often think to myself, in these situations, I want a back who can create his own space, who can break tackles, and in a sense, become his own blocker. We don't have that guy in the game right now.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And this is caught. Touchdown. Wait, hold a second here. A flag down. Let's see if this will stand. So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points.
The two are going to try and throw for it.
And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
And the way their last drive ended, boy, it was frustrating. They had a pretty good drive going. It was sustained, and then it stalled out, Charles, and they missed the field goal and got nothing out of it.
Is that insult to injury? Because they had such a sustained drive, as you noted. So you know for the head coach, it almost felt like a little bit of failure to send out the field goal unit and then to not even see the ball go through the post. What a bummer on that last drive for them. Got to pick themselves up from that one.
From the 29.
Burrow. That's into a crowd and intercepted.
Nick Needham picks it off. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Now he dumps this off over the middle. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Looking to throw again on second down.
Tua. Open man is Waddle, complete. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Setting to throw on first down is Tua. Over the middle, he's got Gesicki, the big 6'5" tight end. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that will bring up second down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. On second down, Mostert. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
So 4th down, Tua departs, and on is Jason Sanders and the Dolphin field goal unit.
This a 31-yard attempt. Sanders' kick is good, and that will finish off this 3rd quarter of play. And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They'll start here with a give to Mixon.
And not much doing there, maybe a yard up to the 23.
And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
He'll drop this one down to Mixon.
So give him 2 yards there on the completion. 3rd and 7 now. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
On 3rd down, Burrow. To the sideline, he's got the catch, and he kept the feet in bounds. Well done.
He's now just 3 yards shy of 197 yards receiving on the contest and a 1st down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Burrow's throw taken in here by Chase. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Now Burrow. He gets this one to Boyd.
And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice 1st down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution. Even though the scoreboard is going against you, you want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Burrow getting this into the hands of Higgins. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
From the red zone now, here's Burrow 1st down. He's going to have the hook up here to Chase.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Inside handoff to Mixon. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now it's Burrow. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. On the ground, it's Mostert to start the drive. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain. Out of the gun on 3rd down. Here's Tua. He is going to find Hill here. And he is going to have the Dolphins 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Up the middle they go with Mostert.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
62 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Couple of 1st downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46.
Now a run straight ahead with Edmonds.
And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it at him. We've got him.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Well, there's Sam Hubbard that time in there to bring him to the ground.
Sam Hubbard just continues to quietly produce for the Bengals. He plays the run, but he can also rush the passer, and had 7.5 sacks in 2021.
7th play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And that will be incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Good, clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get them off the field with a 3-and-out.
Here's Kevin Huber now, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
2nd down. Here's Mostert again.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook. Go play action. Toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
Running on 1st down with Gaskin.
And it's out. He put it on the carpet. But I think a Dolphin was able to fall on it. Yes, they'll keep possession here.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the 2nd half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a 2nd half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the 2nd half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.